Good day. Here are the stories for the Manila Times for Thursday, April 15, 2021. The government's vaccination program is seen to pick up as more vaccines are distributed, especially in the Visayas and Mindanao, where the resupply of 500,000 doses of the CoronaVac vaccine will be deployed, the Department of Health said. The vaccines that arrived last Sunday will be given to healthcare workers in the two regions, according to Vaccine Czar Carlito Galvez Jr. and Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere. A temporary mobile hospital and drive-through vaccination site will soon rise in Rizal Park after the Department of Tourism gave its nod to the project. Tourism Secretary Bernadette Romulo Puyat announced that the Board of Directors of the National Parks Development Committee approved the proposal of Manila Mayor Francisco Isko Moreno Domagoso to build a temporary hospital at the Burnham Green in Rizal Park and a drive-through vaccination site at the Independence Road parade grounds of the Quirino Grandstand. The Philippines, the lone Catholic country in Asia, topped the Vatican's list of countries with the highest number of baptized young children, or those below 7 years old, according to the latest statistical yearbook of the Church. The Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines, citing a report by the Catholic News Service, said the Philippines also ranked third in the world with the most baptized Catholics. Foreign Affairs Secretary Teodoro Locsin Jr. on Wednesday ordered the filing of a new diplomatic protest against China amid the reported return of over 200 Chinese vessels in the West Philippine Sea. Locsin issued the directive following the report of the National Task Force on the West Philippine Sea that 240 Chinese militia vessels were seen swarming several features in the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. Food and Drug Administration Director General Rolando Enrique Domingo admitted on Wednesday that there has been pressure to approve the use of the anti-parasitic drug ivermectin. The FDA issued a hospital a compassionate special permit for the medicine last week. Domingo said other hospitals could apply for a CSP as a measure of last resort. The Department of Health will investigate the death of an 80-year-old Australian man who died of COVID-19 in Brisbane on Monday, days after arriving from the Philippines. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation and Nine Network Australia reported that the man had lived for some time in the Philippines. The man, who arrived in Brisbane, Queensland via Papua New Guinea on March 20, tested positive for the virus on March 25. He was later admitted to the Prince Charles Hospital where he died. Queensland Chief Health Officer Dr. Janet Young said the man contracted the virus in the Philippines. Lawmakers crossed party lines on Wednesday to file a joint resolution asking President Rodrigo Duterte to immediately withdraw an executive order imposing tariff cuts on pork importation. The joint House resolution, which remains unnumbered as of press time, also seeks to reverse President Duterte's order to expand the minimum access volume of pork imports. The mega quarantine center at the former campus of the Manila Times College in Subic will further boost the government's fight against COVID-19, Testing Czar Vivencio Vince Dizon said on Wednesday. Dizon, Deputy Chief Implementer of the National Task Force Against COVID-19, made the statement after the government on Wednesday formally opened the temporary treatment and monitoring facility that can accommodate over 300 COVID patients. Broadcast journalist Antonio Catuning Taberna Jr. on Wednesday filed a qualified theft complaint against his former employee Ernie Patrick Aquino and a bank employee before the Quezon City Prosecutor's Office. Aquino, who was the finance head of Taberna Foods or Tuning's Cafe, allegedly conspired with Gualberto Balayot II, East West Banking Corporation UP Village branch manager, to steal from Taberna over 15 million pesos. Taberna said the alleged theft was uncovered after several checks issued by the company in November last year bounced despite supposed availability of funds. It was discovered that Aquino was able to open 7 accounts in the same branch under the company's name without the required secretary's certificate or board resolution. Topping business, the Department of Budget and Management, or the DBM, has released 3.51 trillion pesos of the 2021 budget in the first quarter, data showed on Wednesday. Data from the Budget Department showed that allotment releases in January to March was already 78% of the 4.5 trillion peso program budget of the government. The latest figure was higher than the 3.21 trillion pesos released in the first 3 months of 2020. Of the total, 2.29 trillion pesos went to line departments, which include funds allocated to agencies and other constitutional offices. A total of 115.99 billion pesos was released as special purpose funds, which are budgetary allocations in the General Appropriations Act for specific socio-economic purposes. Over to sports, Filipino cue artist Dennis the Robocop Orcolio stamped his class in the Iron City Open at the Iron City Billiards in Birmingham, Alabama, held recently. Orcolio, a 5-time Southeast Asian Games and a 1-time Asian Games gold medalist, ruled the 18-entrant 1-pocket, 23-entrant 10-ball, and the 141-entrant 9-ball events of the tournament. The 42-year-old Orcolio outlasted compatriot Warren Kiamko, a 2-time Asian Games silver and a 1-time Southeast Asian Games gold medalist, in the extended race to 7 of the 1-pocket finals 7-4. Yen Macabenta, Ramon Tufo, and architect Felino Palafox Jr. are today's front-page columnists. Macabenta focuses on who will run in next year's presidential elections, Tufo apologizes to President Rodrigo Duterte on his piece, while architect Palafox discusses about philanthropic architecture for vaccination and COVID-19 testing centers. Today's editorial discusses about economic bills being imperative, though these are not urgent. Read the full version on the paper's opinion section or listen to the voice of the Times. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to its digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and keep up with the Times. With the Fort Villa Seran, this is Arik John Sequo reporting. May you have a safe Thursday ahead.